Hello and welcome back to my home. I'd like to do a flip through of the Alice in Wonderland journal that I just finished, and it was a crafting frenzy as I followed the white rabbit down the crafting rabbit hole. So the book measures 8.5 by 5.5. It's a hardcover book. It's held together by cheesecloth that's been stamped and muslin on the back, and that is to help hold the alligator mouth closed. It has lace down the spine. This opens so that this picture of, this is actually the Alice that the book was written for. But if the woman who's getting this in a swap wants to put a different picture in there, she can. There is a nameplate. If people would like to know how I made the stamped cheesecloth and backed it onto the muslin, I'd be glad to do a short tutorial on that. Just let me know in the comments below. It will eventually stop fraying once it gets to the stitching on the back. I put a buttonhole in one of the bindings so that when you close it and tie it tight, these two straps support the front and back cover so that there isn't stress here and here on the lace. So when it's tied shut, there is support to prevent it from pulling away from the binding. As you can see, the book lays flat. However, in true junk journal style, writing will be on a bit of an angle. So going through it, the front cover, it has quite a bit of lace down the side, and I have made a number of muslin tabs and lace tabs at the top. So it opens up, and it starts with, this is lace that I crocheted years and years ago and haven't used, and now have found a use for it. So there's the dear white rabbit that I followed down the crafting rabbit hole. The woman who's getting this journal enjoys lots of pockets and tags, and I spent 6 weeks making lots of pockets and tags and mini books and hiding spaces, only to find out that the book would have to have about a 6-inch spine. So then I spent the last 3 days in a frenzied deconstructing it and pulling out what I thought was the best. So it has a large tag. This is a doily that a runner that my grandmother made, and I didn't want to cut it up, so I scanned it and have added it to it. All of the cards are backed with journal spaces. So here is one of those magical things that I made, and I've kept it. So it starts with a little book, and I found an Alice in Wonderland book, and I've cut out pictures that I liked from it and made a little mini book. And that just fits in this little pocket there. And then this flips up, and it has lots of writing space in here. And there are 2 tags in here for her to journal on. I used some of the public domain digital images to make digital pages. Stamped the tabs. Here is a fabric flip and another just little writing spot. Here we've got a pull-out tag. And again, these are one of those magical things that I came up with when I thought my book could be forever big. So this flips up. She can write here, or she can pull this out and write on here or on here and on here, and then she can fold it back up again. and it's hidden out of view. Ledger paper inside of the first signature, and the ties are held down by little stamps of Alice in Wonderland. This is avocado dyed. All of the pink paper in here is avocado dyed. An envelope with a tag, a doily cut in half. And when you flip it over and you put this tag in, this way, it forms a pretty little picture in the envelope there. Stamped again. Digital. This is an altered paper clip. And a snippet that I've made. This is a 2-pocket spread, and these are cards. Now this is from a free digital, and I don't know, I can't remember who it was. I've used my Alice in Wonderland stamps and backed it onto cardstock. I am going to start keeping a file folder of the digitals, the free digitals that I get, and the ones that I buy, and who I got them from, so that I can include them in future flip-throughs. So this is the second signature, and this is from Wendy's Journal Adventures. I've included a clock, because no Alice in Wonderland book would be complete without a clock, and I just put on the back of it a little piece of lace snippet. So this opens up this way first. And here is an index card with a fabric snippet and some stamping. And then it opens this way. And it has a tag. There's my buddy, the white rabbit. Here is another tag. This was an altered playing card that you can't tell it was a playing card anymore because I got a little carried away. And this is lace, and from my other journals and my craft with me's, you'll know that I picked up a wedding, I don't want to call it vintage, but a wedding gown that had been kept in a barn and was quite dirty, and it washed out very nicely. And one of the 7 little mini books that are in this journal. Now we have 2 tucks. Collaging. This was a free digital from, I think it was Junk Journal Canada, but again, I will go and search at some point and list them below the video when I find them. This is seam binding that I folded up to make a lace, and this is avocado dyed lace. This is a snippet roll that I made and I've included in here. Again, it's made with the lace from that wedding gown. This is 1 pocket. This one has 2 pockets in it. A little bit of another snippet roll that I made. You can write there. This is a recipe for the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. I made this years ago, I can't even remember when, and I was just working with paper, and I've never found a place for it, but with the wonderful creative chaos that is in Alice in Wonderland, I thought it fit in this book as a bookmark. We have two more, this is the middle of the second signature, and here are these tabs. Two pockets. Another pocket. Another pocket and a little card. Begin at the beginning, the king said very gravely, and go on till you come to the end, then stop. That was sort of how I had to treat myself in making this journal, or it would have gone on forever. This is a little place that she can tuck some secret writing in, and it tucks into the lace there. Another tuck spot and a card. My husband helped design this one. He was quite engaged in the process. Why, you're a cat, said Alice. This is a tuck spot that she can tuck something into if she wants to. And here again are one of those pages that made me crazy. So this is a tag that I've had in my stash and never had a place to use it for years. Again, it was a free download. I will have to search the internet to find out who it's from. When I do, I will add it to the video. And it just flips up, and I have those journaling pages above it. So this, another index card and a large tag. So this pocket has 1, 2, 3 pockets, and then there is an area that you can put papers in there, and that's where this large tag is. Whoops, I want that to go there, and then I'm tucking this in here so that it sits out. This is a flip up notepad that she can write on. Some stamped muslin. An envelope pocket. And in there we have another tag. And this was a blessings card that came as part of my grandmother's things when closing her home up, and I've just covered it with avocado paper and covered over where it says blessings, and it can be used as a journal card in her journal. And when it's set in here like that, it's very pretty. This middle of the last, oh my, I'm going to have to deal with that. The middle of the last signature. I will deal with that later. It'll come off, it's just dried glue. Stamped. Another envelope tuck, and I put together some buttons and lace. I had lots of these, but they're quite dimensional and filled the book up quite fast. So I'll add, there's a stamp on the back of that one. I'll use them in future journals. Another book. This is an altered paper clip. This comes off. I guess I should have actually done it from this page. This comes off and it opens up, and there is a little journaling space in here. And like this, it can be used as a tuck as well. There's a tuck here. And the end of the book, there are 2 tucks. Lots of lace along the sides. Again, the top, the side, the back is plain. There is a little bit of lace hanging off the bottom and the watch. I'm including with the journal the pieces of the lace that I didn't use. Here is the stamped muslin, the white snippet roll. I actually do a craft with me on how I made that, and the colorful snippet roll that I also do a craft with me on how I made it. I hope you have enjoyed this flip through and my adventure with the white rabbit. Thank you.